In the blink of an eye, Bitcoin is at 100K. We could be making a run for all-time highs relatively soon here. If we are, you have to lock in now because this could be one of the last chances to make something this cycle. There's a lot to discuss, so let's get into it. Now, this pullback from 110,000 down to 70,000. Anyone who got bearish during this time, I would never blame them. It's difficult, it's hard, right? To stay blindly long during a pullback like this is logically not wise. You need substantial conviction and insight to stay on the right side of the trade. But one thing I noted in the last video is that if you want to capitalize on a run, you're going to have to allocate during a time where it feels really depressing, where we said by the time Bitcoin shows any type of strength, altcoins are going to be up a decent amount off their lows. I'm saying that because one thing I noticed down here, the dialogue, was that I want bullish confirmation before I go back in. Okay, fair enough, right? Everyone does. But now we're not necessarily confirmed bullish, and yet altcoins, some channel favorites like a Tau, like a Sui, whatever it is, are up 2x off their lows. So now it's kind of like a no man's land. If you enter now, you're not going to get the most gains. And if this is a bull trap, you're going to take a very big loss. But if you don't enter now, then you could be sidelined. So this is just a tip for going forward because we could be in a similar situation in the summer maybe, where assuming Bitcoin puts in whatever type of move and we get a pullback yet again, if we then make a run later this year, Q4, you're going to be in the same exact situation. So food for thought for next time. But what about right now? As you may know, a lot of people this cycle did not make money. They did not realize those gains they may have had at one point. That traditional flow of liquidity from Bitcoin to ETH, big caps, mid caps, small caps, you know how it goes. What we've been seeing is Bitcoin show a little bit of strength and then these small meme coins put in a type of run. People are desperate for some types of gains, and if you're sidelined on top of that, you're going to go into crypto that have nothing going for them. But for you specifically, don't get caught up in these scam exit liquidity pumps. People are underwater on these coins. Any type of pump they're looking to get out. For example, these past couple weeks, Cerebro did a 4x, but that's not a sign of strength. It's a sign of desperation on a coin that died and people looking for any types of gains, right? But this isn't something you want to be FOMOing into. Even though Cerebro at one point was a coin we did very well on, this cycle especially has shown that you don't want to be just bidding coins for the sake of it. Now, Bitcoin dominance continues to go up. I am very confident that when Bitcoin tops, we will get an altcoin season. My question though is that hypothetically, right? Actually ask yourself this. If Bitcoin was supposed to always top in Q4 of the post-halving year, let's say October, November this year, it tops at 180K, let's call it, and an altcoin season follows a Bitcoin top. If Bitcoin dominance continues to show strength until that period, and then it drops hard, and then we get that altcoin season, then everything that we've seen up until now, right? Ask yourself this. Would it not have made sense why it happened the way it did? Since the lows on Bitcoin, what happened? Bitcoin goes up, altcoins go up a little bit, and then they give it all back. Same exact thing here. Bitcoin goes up from the mid 20s to 74K. Altcoins do what, like a 3 to 7x on average, give it all back. Then we had that infamous November last year, right? Bitcoin goes up, altcoins do a 2 to 5x, gives it all back. It's all a process. And so this rise of Bitcoin, rise of altcoins, and then flattening out before it happens again is a repeating process that would make sense if that scenario of an ultimate Bitcoin top followed by the final altcoin season is in fact how things play out. The reason I'm bringing this up is because if we're getting a run now, I want to mentally prepare you for something like that again. So let's put ourselves through it right now. Bitcoin goes up to like 120, 130K. Altcoins do another 2 to 4x from here. What are you going to do about it? Will you yet again just hope for the best, say this is it, we're just getting started, and ride those gains all the way down? Or instead, will you look for evidence of, okay, is this the final Bitcoin run or just another run? Where you can argue then, selling would then become a question, right? And remember, selling is the most difficult thing in crypto by far. But this is not a race of trying to get the highest portfolio value and unrealized gains. The thing is though, we need to have this dialogue now because by the time Bitcoin is up there, you're going to be caught up in the euphoria, finally thinking you're back, and it's going to happen again. These are decisions you have to make right now. Now make sure you are subscribed to the channel because this is something we'll be discussing during that time. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter. We were one of the few perma bulls over the last few months where I stated that current crypto participants look at past cycle performance and wonder how people mess this up. Look at this move, and a lot of people did not make money on this. Well, needless to say that future participants will be looking back and questioning the same thing about you all, especially if you capitulated before what could be the move. Also, not to shill it too hard, no pressure whatsoever. But if you are looking for some more personal help, I do have a Discord group. These are things we've been talking about over the past few weeks. A lot of the members of the group are on the right side of this trade, are fully allocated in the right coins, got into Fartcoin and such at the lows. So if you're interested in joining that, being with us when we sell here, potentially buy back in, then sell again, whatever it is, playing it live, there is a link in the description. Check that out if you're interested. Again, no pressure. Now, in terms of altcoins, right? So we have BitTensor Tau. Now, it's a bit weird. This one has been one of the strongest altcoins, especially in the AI niche. We'll get to that in a second. If this is the run that we're about to have, I expect it to go over 1,000 easy. Question is how deep into this range. However, if this is just a run, another run like we've had so far, then I expect all-time highs to get hit, especially considering that Tau was one of the few, if not the only AI coins to get to those highs compared to the March 2024 highs. Maybe a bit above that, maybe up to 1,000. So you do the math now. It's at 400. What is that, like a 2.5x maybe? Or potentially a 4 or 5x on the lower end if we're just getting started for the run, which obviously we'll be dealing with while that's happening, right? We can't really tell right now. One thing though, I want to point out is that I tweeted this maybe a week ago, week and a half ago. I think over these past few months, BitTensor has taken such a substantial leap over its competitors that it's become a really appealing trade. Now, AI, right? The artificial intelligence hype has taken a bit of a hit, as has everything. I do think because of what AI is though, it will return during the bull market. The difference is though that going forward, other coins, other AI coins like a Near, like an ICP, like a Fetch, whatever they are, over the past 2 years have done quite literally nothing in terms of AI. I think people are disappointed, frustrated. It doesn't make sense to keep holding or buying those coins right now. If they couldn't get it done before, why would they get it done now? The only catalyst they'd have going forward is a bullish Bitcoin. But if you compare an altcoin with the bullish Bitcoin with its own bullish catalysts, that's a very big deal. I think BitTensor is the only AI major with that feat. They had the launch of Dynamic Tau not too long ago. It's been so impressive so far in my opinion. Still not perfect, but as you expect, progress is there nonetheless. Now I bring this up because if you've been an OG viewer of this channel, one thing you can quote me on every single day is the fact that BitTensor was going to become the #1 AI coin. It's now done that. I think this could be the biggest lead it's had so far. There's a difference of over 500 million compared to the second spot, but taking that first position was just the beginning. I think it now accelerates, no pun intended, and really differentiates itself from the lot. So slowly but surely, the predictions we had with Tau are coming along. The #1 AI coin, top 20, top 15, maybe top 10 by the end of this cycle. It has gotten a tad bit expensive, maybe you can argue. I gave you the targets. The rest is up to you. And then we have CRV. Now, these are still some pretty decent levels to get into. I'm sure, as some of you may recall, last summer around August, I had those 2 videos where I explained how I sold all of my Solana and put most of it into CRV. This was when Sol was $148 and CRV was around 20 cents. And even till this day, one of the biggest trades of my life, being up 200% versus Solana, and I do think it gets up quite a bit more. I don't know if anyone on YouTube has pulled off a rotation like this live, where they put their neck on the line, and there's a reason I did it, because I'm quite bullish on CRV. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, I put it all out there. It's going well so far. The high it got to in November was $1.30, and I think we get above $1.30 on that run, and I think it continues to outperform Solana. Stablecoins are becoming a very big narrative, right? And that was one of the things, the reasons I got into Curve when I did, trying to be in front of what is arguably one of the biggest narratives with stablecoins. Ripple has theirs, obviously. You can argue that stablecoins are the RWA asset, and so the biggest stablecoin proxy in crypto is Curve. I would not be surprised if this project gets real traction because of that. And as is Fartcoin. So Fartcoin is my meme coin pick for this cycle. I still hold Pepe. Now Fartcoin on the first run, when we caught it at the lows, got like an 80-90x on it. That was great. Now the second time around, I did not give publicly. I did not give it on YouTube or Twitter. This was exclusively for my Discord group, because obviously if they're going out of their way to join that group, they deserve a 5x play at the minimum. Well, it probably ends up being a lot more. That said though, it still is at $1. It could pull back. I still think it's a good trade though. A challenge of all-time highs, I'm pretty confident in. It just has so much lore and mind share. The liquidity is so deep. I think the deepest liquidity on chain of any meme coin. You can buy and sell $1 million clips of this coin and it won't make a dent in price. That is a very big deal for whales, people you want buying your coins. But I would just keep this one on my radar if you don't have it already. Now here's a pretty interesting one. Litecoin. I know, right? Boomer coin, why do I care? Stuff like that. Now, this isn't so much to just buy and hold, but hypothetically, right? Bitcoin at 100K, let's say it does make a run for all-time highs. I can see Litecoin put in a pretty decent run. If a coin looks good, the trade might be gone, right? It's because Litecoin doesn't look that exciting, which allows me to even bring it up as a trade opportunity. This one I would keep an eye on. What if it was something like XRP in November? Remember, it was XRP that looked, pretty abysmal, kind of boring, and just put in that insane run in that November time period. What if this time around it's Litecoin? So I am long because of that. I don't think it'll do the same types of numbers as XRP, but a run nonetheless. Here's maybe another hint of what we're talking about. So Monero, another boomer coin, kind of doing nothing, right? Floating, and it put in a move recently. Let's see how far it goes up. That's kind of my mindset with the Litecoin idea. But quick summary, boom, Bitcoin goes up 20 odd thousand. I made a poll. Right? Will it pull back? Now, you would think it pulls back, right? It makes sense on paper. But I didn't think we'd pull back. Now is the perfect time to just keep going up. It does seem like we could just be beginning that. I'm not sure yet. But in case we are, you need to ask yourself that question, the main topic of this video. If we get to these numbers up here, are you going to sell or hold? Why would you sell or hold? But again, no worries. When we get up here, I will be making update videos about what to do. So again, make sure you're subscribed, but we'll leave it there for now. And hopefully, this is it. But whatever ends up happening, we will adjust accordingly. Till next time, take care.